May the Schwartz be with you. Oh, that's the wrong film. Whoops. May the Force be with you, friends. Yes, we're diving right into a brand new Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu. As you guys might have seen on my social media, I didn't get an advanced screening for this. Usually that's like a red flag for a film, but I went in optimistic, open-minded, and hey, it's Star Wars on the big screen. 7 years in the making. Of course I'm going to be excited, but did I leave just as excited? Well... What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today we're getting into my spoiler-free thoughts on The Mandalorian and Grogu. It already released in theaters. It's been out in the US since May 22nd, so if you're watching this after you leave the theater, let me know down below in the comments your thoughts and whether you disagree with me or agree with me by the time you get to the end of this review. And hey, if you do enjoy movies and TV like I do, welcome to Real James, a place for you. So hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, like this video as you're watching it, and again, I want to know your thoughts on The Mandalorian and Grogu because, yeah, guys, I got some things to talk about with you. It's directed by Jon Favreau, and this is not new for him. The Star Wars universe is a sandbox that he's been playing in for a while now. It's written by 3 screenwriters. You got Jon Favreau himself, Dave Filoni, who is now the newly appointed leader at Lucasfilm, and then you have Noah Clore. The film is starring, not a huge cast, but of course our leading man, Pedro Pascal, as Din Djarin. You have Jeremy Allen White as Rotta the Hutt, and Sigourney Weaver as Colonel Ward. But we can't forget about, notable mention here, Martin Scorsese. The movie itself is really no different than the show. It's The Mandalorian and Grogu going on an intergalactic quest together. This time it's a rescue mission. They're going to rescue Rotta the Hutt. And that's pretty much the substance and the entirety of the story. I wish I could tell you it's more, but for a film that clocks in just over 2 hours, ooh, you kind of want a little more than that. But hey, let's not get negative, right? Yet. We're going to get started with the positives because, yeah, there are some good takeaways for me with The Mandalorian and Grogu. And it starts more on a technical note because Ludwig Goransson's score here is unbelievable. He's one of my favorite living composers. I mean, he's up there with Michael Giacchino, but Ludwig Goransson's score does something very unique. Every time they go to a new planet, there's something special about the motifs you hear in the background. I mean, I think his score was booming at times with the drums. You feel them reverberating off your chair. And then at times you hear synth beats. I'm not even kidding. He gets very experimental in moments, and I love that for Ludwig Göransson. They even go to a planet, Shikari, I think. And when they get there, it goes from like kind of spacey type into like trap beats. And that was cool for me because at first I thought, do I hear 808s? Or, wait a second, is this a trap beat in Star Wars? Sign me all the way up because it worked. And Ludwig Göransson's score is, of course, the most consistent element of the movie. Never does it dip in quality, and it's always riding this amazing wave. It really does keep the movie afloat at times. It isn't the only thing that can do that, though, right? There's got to be more. Well, sort of. I mean, we're talking technical stuff, right? So the VFX and the practical effects for this movie are really good, honestly. They're very solid. I mean, Jon Favreau even said he made it a point to want to use more practical effects for the creatures, for the droids, and it looks really nice, honestly. It is refreshing to see that in a Star Wars movie. Usually, as of the past decade or so, we've been getting a lot of VFX and CGI. Not bad, but also sometimes you miss the practicality of things. You know, George Lucas, what he did with A New Hope, you want to see that kind of carried into this generation too. And Favreau does a decent job of really bringing that torch forward and showcasing a lot of the work. So kudos to everyone behind the scenes who worked on this film, and they did a good job. And the sound design really helps this movie. I mean, seriously, at times I'm thinking, all right, this action is not really like that captivating, but then you hear some familiar noises that we're used to as Star Wars fans hearing, and some new sounds, and it's just so cool. The sloshing of the water as the whatever snake-looking dragon thing, I don't even know what they called it, a water snake, but it was really cool, honestly. And I liked exactly how they played with different noises. So yeah, the sound design is pretty impressive, and I'm glad I saw it in a premium format. I didn't watch it in IMAX, but I did see it at my local Paragon theater in their big, like, premium format screen, and it was really neat, actually. And the cinematography itself is pretty decent at times. Thankfully, it's just much better than anything we got in season 3 of the show. Seriously, season 3 of The Mandalorian. You guys know how I feel about that, and if you don't, well, I'll tell you right now, it was very much a departure from seasons 1 and 2 in terms of quality and a production standpoint. It just felt like the show was dropping off. So I was looking forward to The Mandalorian and Grogu sort of reigniting that flame, right? Again, we're in the positives. The first 30 minutes of this film were also pretty fun. Yeah, we got action, but it was really Djarin kicking butt like John Wick in Beskar armor. It was awesome. Honestly, the first 30 minutes of this movie is the best of the stretch of this film. I mean, he does an awesome job getting into that bar and kicking some vandals. It's nice, you know? It's cool to see. It's kind of what I wanted. But again, I wanted substance as well. Also, shout out to the fight choreographers because the hand-to-hand combat here felt really cool. It looked better than I remember the show being, if that makes sense. So yeah, you know, it's a movie, so it's got to operate on a bigger scale, and I thought it was good. So of course, we've got some neat action moments. We have some cool and adorable scenes with Mandalorian and Grogu. And yeah, the cinematography and the technical elements are ranging from good to great. But can music, cool shots, some neat moments, and adorable Grogu, who we get a lot of in this movie, can it save this film? Well, it can't keep it afloat, because now it's time to get into my negatives, you guys. And for as much as I loved season 1 and 2 of this show, I felt that, yeah, season 3 wasn't great, it had some issues, but man, the movie, it didn't need to be a movie, because it just felt like the structure of this film, in air quotes, because it doesn't even feel like a movie, it failed the actual end product. I mean, the structure here is just awful to me. It is like 3 episodes of the show squished into a 2-hour and 20-minute film. Why? My biggest fear genuinely was confirmed. These could have just been 3 episodes of season 4. I don't know if anywhere along the production line they had that thought, but this does not feel like a movie to me. I mean, yes, the action's cool. Yeah, it's shot for IMAX. It looks nice. But I don't think that there's enough that moves the plot forward for me to say, yeah, this is a must-see in theaters. It could have just been a part of an arc in the show. The way that they write this film also really threw me for a loop. You know, like in video games, when you're prompted to go to a certain location and you meet one character and they give you a side quest, there's no actual conversation happening. It is like, oh, good to see you here. Now go to this place on your map and collect 500 XP. It's like, this is a very unnatural conversation. And that happened often in this film, specifically with Sigourney Weaver, legendary actress. But her character of Colonel Ward was there to just literally give Din Djarin and Grogu their next mission. Hey, thanks for coming by, side quest. That was the majority of their interactions here. And eventually, sure, we see Sigourney Weaver doing something cool, but it's too little too late. I mean, even Zeb. Zeb is a character I love from Star Wars Rebels, and we saw him in the Mandalorian series, of course. I knew he was going to be in this film. He's also there just to sort of say, haha, great job, or we're going into a really dangerous airfield. Like, really? You're going to take a character who's beloved by fans and just use them as a plot device? Or just filler? So there's a lot of exposition dumps, too, in the first half of this movie. If you didn't watch the show, you'd probably be a little confused. But if you didn't watch season 3, you're probably going to be fine, honestly. I don't know. I do feel like your mileage will vary based on how much you love the show. But again, I didn't hate season 3, and I didn't like the film. There's a ton of just lazy elements from a creative standpoint, too. I don't know if it was the directing or if it was the writing for some of these characters, but Jeremy Allen White, he voices Rotta the Hutt. And when I tell you the voice doesn't match the character, that is like exactly the best way I could put it. A muscular Hutt. He's brooding and I'm fierce. And then I speak like this. Dog, come on. I'm sorry. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It is just unfortunate because I do believe Jeremy Allen White has range. We see him in The Bear. It's a great series, right? Well, I mean, I stopped after season 2, but still, he has talent. However, I believe he was either miscast or just misdirected because the voice here was uninspired and it just felt like, are you in 2 different places? Pedro Pascal is at least trying as much as he can, especially with his facial movements. Like him outside of the helmet was cool, but like, man, you know, it just didn't work for me. Thank goodness we had Babu Frick's family basically with Grogu at times to sort of pick up those scenes because, you I was like, yeah, this is boring. But this is cute. So there's a little bit of that in the middle of the film all the way till the end. However, it just can't save it, guys. I'm sorry. It just cannot save this movie. There's a stretch in this film for about almost 25 minutes, I want to say, where it is just Grogu, Babu Frick, and family. Yeah, it's cute when you have the Mandalorian present or a character who can actually speak. I hate to say it that way, but they didn't do enough to really build up to that moment and then make us attached to the characters, right? There's no real emotional buildup here. Right? There's no payoff. It just doesn't feel like the story goes anywhere. And we end exactly how we started. That doesn't feel like a film to me. After the first act, I won't even lie to you guys, there were moments where I was fighting sleep. I was dozing off whenever there wasn't action because the story just didn't have enough to really chew on. Like, even if it was a little bit of character development with Djarin, just a little bit, I would have been okay. But like, for 2 hours, and more than 2 hours, you can't just have action, Grogu, cute, action, Grogu, cute. Like, it doesn't work because even the action begins to fall flat. It goes into this weird revolving door where you just expect everything to happen as it's going to happen and as it does happen. It's formulaic. It's a bad formula for this film. So I hate to say it, you guys, but this is just a huge miss for me. So let's get into my final thoughts here, you guys. So The Mandalorian and Grogu is a movie I went into with an open mind. I went in there wanting the best for this film. A fun time. I didn't expect anything crazy. I don't think it was going to blow my mind, but it actually didn't even challenge my mind. It didn't even really do anything for my mind. I felt nothing in this film. And that is the worst thing about a Star Wars movie, is that you feel nothing because it leads to a boring outcome. And that's what The Mandalorian and Grogu eventually ended up being. Just a really boring space galaxy adventure that had no stakes and didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Seeing a Star Wars movie on the big screen will never not be great, you guys. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to still be alive and see that, right? And hopefully, if I become a father, if the Lord blesses me with that, I want more Star Wars movies for my kids, right? I just am worried because now that Dave Filoni's taken over after Kathleen Kennedy left, I'm almost scared to even put this thought into your minds. But if this is indicative of the future of Star Wars on the big screen under Dave Filoni's direction, I'm very worried, because this was an entry into a franchise that I dearly love that ended up being, unfortunately, very meaningless. And The Mandalorian and Grogu, for me, would just get like 2 Grogus out of 5, or 2 of those little things that Rotta the Hutt was feeding him, those little treats or fish, whatever the heck they were. But yeah, you guys, this is a huge disappointment for me. And unfortunately, The Mandalorian and Grogu does nothing to get me excited if they do a season 4 of the show. Like, at this point, the lightning has left the bottle. Just no more. No more. But y'all, let me know exactly what you think about my thoughts on the film. And I want to hear your thoughts on The Mandalorian and Grogu. Do you think it's as much of a disappointment as it was for me? Or did you love the film? Because I want to hear both sides of the argument. Get loud in the comments below. And if you've made it this far in the video, drop a sub for your boy. All right? It is about 99 degrees outside in South Florida, okay? And I am working hard with the lights on. Well, these lights, not my actual lights. So, y'all, I'm thankful for your support. Can't wait till we get to 32,000 subscribers. And yeah. Alrighty, y'all. Well, off to watch more movies because we're getting into summer, and that means a fun movie season is ahead. Okay, y'all. Thanks so much again for watching. God bless you guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening. Seriously, Grogu, put that down. Don't touch the knob. Take that out of your mouth.